I don't know if anyone here has heard most recently the stories out of Georgia. A tragic story about a young woman who died because it appears the people who should have given her health care were afraid they'd be criminalized.
Amber Thurman died because of the abortion pill. Kamala Harris wants you to believe that it's because of abortion bans, and yet it is because of the medication that she was given over state lines that her state claims is not safe and therefore will not be given to a pregnant woman. She came back to her state and she died because of that pill. Kamala Harris is using someone's death and somehow using it for her political agenda for abortion, even though that's the thing that killed her. Not abortion bans. Gosh.
My whole argument with this is that why do they have to lie about it though? Make your argument, and if you're on the right side of the argument, you don't have to tell a lie. But continuously, they lie about overturning Roe v. Wade. They lie about what happened in Georgia, and I'm finna expose it right now. This video is brought to you by Save the Storks, brought to you by Save the Storks. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, now you know. I am running a campaign. We're almost to the goal to get a medical mobile clinic right here in Phoenix, Arizona. Save the Storks has these all over the country. I think they're in 34 states, over 100 of these. And we want to get one right here in the state of Arizona. We actually want them to be in all 50 states, as many of them as we can, because we need to fight back against the craziness that's going on the other side. You can watch this video when you click on the link to see a full-throated explanation of how the Stork works. I actually go into the Stork and show you exactly what the medical mobile clinic is. We're going to have a Tatum one right here. All I need from you, $35 donation. My family donates $100. $35 donation will help one woman, and we're almost to our goal. We're 91% there. We only need a couple $1,000, and we will be to the finish line, getting women the care that they deserve in a very convenient way with the medical mobile clinic. So go to the links. Links will be in the bio. Make sure you donate today. Let's make this thing happen. And also, let's get into this. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I had to talk about this, man. I wasn't going to bring up this situation about the young lady that lost her life in Georgia through complications from the abortion pill. Let's not get this twisted. Let's not be conflating and trying to save face. Let's just be honest. It was a complication that caused her death from taking the abortion pill, which is incredibly dangerous, as you can see. And they don't want to tell you that there's complications, but if you listen to the articles, they want to blame Trump and Republicans, but when you read into the article, it explains very thoroughly that this is a dangerous situation that people are putting themselves in. Let's go on to go through this. And there's another young lady, and then there's a lady at the end that completely lies. And I could probably put my life on it that she lied. And if she's not lying, I will pay for her attorney to sue the 2 hospitals that she claimed rejected her from having a medical emergency. I'll pay for the lawyer. I just want 10% of the settlement. That's all I want. I will commit on this video. If they refuse to serve you while you're having a medical emergency, I want to pay for the lawyer so we can sue the hospitals, and I just want 10%. That's all I want. All right, let's get to the story at hand. A Georgia woman died after doctors delayed abortion care. It's what this article title says, but it's not true. Harris blames the death on Donald Trump's abortion ban. First and foremost, I want to make sure we're very clear. There's no such thing as an abortion ban by Donald Trump. There's no Trump abortion ban. What happened was a Supreme Court justice made a ruling that Roe v. Wade is not constitutional and it should not be managed by the federal government. Then, therefore, it's left up to the states for the people to vote. If you want your state to allow whatever you want, you vote on it. It's not the president's decision, and it's not the Supreme Court's decision. That's what happened. Had nothing really Donald Trump wouldn't have ruled this way, to be honest. It was the Supreme Court, which is a separate branch of government. But let me get to the meat and potatoes of this. Many of you guys probably don't know this, but this young lady lost her life in a very tragic and sad situation. If you ask me, it's more medical malpractice than anything, which over 400,000 people die every year from medical malpractice, which is leaps and bounds above people that die from law enforcement and all kind of other stuff. But anyway, this situation happened 2 years ago. Why are we hearing about it today? And we all know why we're hearing about it today, because it's politically expedient to use this woman's death to push somebody's political agenda. Let me make it a little bigger so you can read it along with me. Let's see. I think that'll be the right size. All right. So this young lady, beautiful young lady, died 2 years ago. And what they say in the article, which is a complete lie, it says that Georgia, she died 2 years ago, delayed her care as doctors grappled with the state's restriction abortion law. I don't know if it's true or not, but I will put money on it that this had nothing to do with abortion restriction laws. Now, people may say it because it's politically expedient to say it, whether you're a doctor or a politician. But if a woman is having life-saving measures applied, I don't think that there's a grappling and a delay. But let's go on and read the article because I think it tells you more about what really happened when you read the article. It says her death was later ruled preventable, possibly preventable. They say the word preventable. Listen, you know, it's funny that they don't rule people's death that get into confrontations with police preventable. If you never broke the law and tried to shoot a cop, then your death was preventable. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, all jokes aside, let's get back to the issue at hand. They talk about the young lady's 6-year-old son, but let me just read to this. It said this young mother should be alive, raising her son and pursuing her dreams of attending nursing school, Harris said in a statement. This is exactly what we fear when Roe v. Wade was struck down. In more than 20 states, the Trump abortion ban are preventing doctors from performing basic medical care. Let's talk about this for a minute. I think she's right 100% by saying that this was preventable and she should be alive raising her son. Why? Because she shouldn't have went to get an abortion pill. That's dangerous. And that caused the complication that led to her death. Now, if you keep reading down in the article, they start to really speak about the real complications of this drug. They go on to bash the Republicans, and then they go on to say medical assistance, it says, was taken to this particular hospital in the suburbs of Atlanta after she vomited blood and passed out in 2022. Doctors discovered that she had taken an abortion medication and developed a rare, and they say rare. I don't know how rare it really is. Complication in which there was some fetal tissue left in her uterus, according to the outlet's investigation. So this woman, because of the fear-mongering and ridiculousness of the left, in my opinion, decided that she was going to go out of the state because Georgia has already banned this particular abortion pill because it's unsafe. She goes out of state to get an unsafe pill, and what happens? She get back into the state, and complications of vomiting blood and passing out were a part of what this abortion pill does to women. Now they go on and later in the article, and it says they delayed her care and finally operated on her 20 hours later. Did they delay her care because they're afraid of getting prosecuted? I highly doubt it, because there's obviously exceptions for medical emergencies. And it says over 2 years, her family members, not only that she died due to retaining products of conception. That means fetal tissue from a botched abortion. That's what that really is. And then they go on and use the word to say, oh, it was preventable. I mean, you could say anything is preventable. Let me just read this to you, and look how they try to use trickery to mitigate, because they cannot not add this in the article, but they put it at the very bottom. Death caused by complications from abortion medication, or it says exceedingly rare, with 32 deaths reported to the FDA from 2000 to 2022. That's in 2 years. They've had 32 deaths reported to the FDA. How many deaths or complications that led to the deaths or other life-changing events that have happened from these pills that ain't even been reported? Then they go on to save more face, and they go down here and they said, I think that's the part. They go on to say some other stuff, but then here's another part. So Republican presidential candidate has spread outrageously false claims about abortion, including late last week when he said that some states execute babies after birth during debate against Harris. I hate that they say this because it's inaccurate. If you have an abortion, and Tim Waltz had a family member associated with this, if you have a botched abortion, they try to end the life of the baby after it's born. That's what they call after-birth abortions. We already got the evidence. The former governor of Virginia already said it on camera what they do, and he was explicit. Let's go to another situation, because this is another Georgian situation. And let me read this to you. This young lady lost her life because what did she do? She refused to go to the hospital. It says right here, Candace Miller's family said that she didn't visit a doctor due to the current legislation of pregnancies and abortions. Maternal health experts deemed her death preventable and blamed Georgia abortion ban. Of course they did, because it's political. Then you go on and read what actually happened to her. It says, mother of three realized that she had unintentionally gotten pregnant. Now let's talk about this unintentionally gotten pregnant thing. When you have sex, you run the possibility of getting pregnant. If you don't want to get pregnant, you don't have sex. It's very simple. It's very clear. If you have comorbidities, which is what they claimed in this situation, if you have comorbidities and you run the risk of getting pregnant, could exacerbate your comorbidities or could cause you to lose your life and have a very dangerous pregnancy, you got three options. Well, two options. Don't have sex anymore, or don't have intercourse, because there's other ways they have sex. Y'all know what it is. Wear contraceptives. Maybe there's three, or be on birth control. So you can use birth control, contraceptives at the same time. Therefore, the likelihood of you getting pregnant is very slim, or you can be abstinent, because you cannot run the risk of dying through a pregnancy if this, in fact, is true due to her comorbidities. So there is no such thing as an unintentional pregnancy. It's just that you want to avoid responsibility for the intention. When I had a son out of wedlock, I would say unexpected, but it wasn't unintentional. I knew what I was doing when I was laying up in that bed. I just was running a risk. I was taking the chance. I was gambling, okay? But I knew that this was a possibility. No escaping it. It says Georgia new abortion ban gave her no choice, which is a complete lie. Although it made exceptions for actual life-threatening emergencies. If this woman was fearful of a life-threatening emergency, she had the ability to have care that she needed. Hospitals are not going to reject a woman who has a life-threatening situation that is going on. There's every state in the union have an exception for the life of the mother. Every state in the union. Nobody's going to say, oh, you're going to die too bad. That no state does that. It's not even, I don't even know of a state that does that. You find one, let me know. I'll change my tune. So this young lady essentially died because she was fearmongered by the Democrats and telling her that she can't go to the hospital because they won't treat her. And what she did, and she did not have complications when she found out she was pregnant. None of that stuff was afoot initially. What ended up happening was her fear led her to not even go to the hospital at all until it was too late. And let's read this real quick, because this is what they don't want you to read. That's why they don't put it at the top. It says Miller ordered an abortion pill online, similar to the other lady. The danger of these abortion pills. She ordered one online, but she did not expel all of the fetal tissue. Exactly what happened to this other young lady, which is a side effect. They try to say, oh, it's rare. You got two women in Georgia in the same year that had this same complication. Would need a dilation procedure to clear from the uterus, which is the same thing that happened to the other young lady. In many states, this care, known as DNC, is routinely for both abortions and miscarriages. In Georgia, performing it has recently been made a felony with few exceptions. Now, what do you think the exceptions are? If this woman's life is on the line, that's an exception. If this woman is having a medical complication, I'm sure that's an exception. If it's not, what's the exceptions? What are the exceptions? Okay, we all know what the exceptions are, but they lying to you. Her teenager son watched her suffer for days after she took the pill, bedridden and moaning. In early hours of November the 12th, 2022, Her husband found her unresponsive in the bed, her 3-year-old daughter at her side. This woman could have gotten care that she needed, but because of fear-mongering from Democrats and lies that have been told to her, just like they lie to black people about police, she ended up losing her life because she stayed at home instead of seeking the service and care that she needed. But in both of these situations, it's very clear that what caused them to be deathly ill or get to this position, and that is the abortion pill. Why are we not talking about the dangers of the abortion pill? Now, let me bring up this other situation because I think it's invaluable to talk about, is this right here, which is a third situation of women completely lying about this stuff.
Did someone track down the women Kamala Harris says are bleeding out in parking?
I'm one of the women that Vice President Harris was referring to in her debate. My husband and I found ourselves in a healthcare crisis when I was seeking emergency care while having a miscarriage.
She was seeking emergency care while having a miscarriage. Keep that in mind when you listen to what else she say.
I was denied from 2 hospitals in Louisiana due to Donald Trump's abortion ban.
She was denied. She was seeking emergency care, and she was denied at 2 hospitals. Now let's walk through this real quick. If she is seeking an emergency medical care, that means that it's a dire situation, right or wrong. If the answer is right, if you got denied at 2 hospitals, that means you drove there on your own. I'm assuming you didn't get in the ambulance, and they denied you. You had to drive to another place. They denied you, and you ended up going to another place that actually served you, right? Am I right? Am I wrong? So if it's an abortion ban across the state, no hospital will serve you. So that right there tells me that this is fishy. And then if it's life-threatening, you would be dead if you got denied 2 hospitals and had to wait for service in a third. And why won't she mention the hospitals that banned her or denied her? Why would she mention them? And I made a promise that I'll pay for her lawyers if this is true, because if you had a medical emergency, which is not covered in any abortion ban whatsoever, and a hospital refused to see you in a medical emergency, you're rich. I don't know how many hundreds of $1 millions you're going to get, but young lady, I'll pay for your lawyer and just give me 10% of the winnings, the earnings. They just making this stuff up. This woman didn't get denied emergency care. She may have got denied from having an abortion. She didn't get denied emergency care. Come on, man. Come on. We can't go on lying and being disingenuous about this stuff. We need to be honest so women can get the help they need, and they know that we can be on an equal playing field.
Donald Trump continues to brag about being responsible for this. If he's reelected, his Project 2025 plan will be
Project 2025. She should get sued. She lying. Donald Trump is not even associated with Project 2025. That's why you can't believe nothing that these people say.
25 plan will ban abortion nationwide. We have to make sure this doesn't happen by electing Kamala Harris for president.
All I'm saying when it comes to this video is that, can we be genuine about it? The young ladies are taking abortion pills, which are inherently dangerous. The FDA is not putting warning labels, and people are not telling young women about this. And there's complications that happen, in the medical community may not be equipped to deal with these things expediently. It has nothing to do with an abortion ban. It has everything to do with this pill that could be inherently dangerous. And then you have young women like this that's coming out and making up stories about how she got denied in Louisiana from 2 hospitals. I just can't imagine it being true. As a former cop, man, people go to the hospital for anything, bro, and they never deny service. Crackheads be in there 24 hours a day. Some people in there 3 or 4 times a day. They never deny service from anybody unless they know you don't need it. And if you're having a medical emergency throwing up blood, it's impossible for them to deny you because they don't know if you having an abortion or not. They don't know what you could be saying you have an abortion. They have to check you. You could be having a cyst or something on your ovary or something, and you think you're pregnant and having an abortion. They're not going to deny you. They have to go and verify, are you pregnant? Do you have a tumor, or is this something else going on? Maybe you're pregnant, has nothing to do with your pregnancy. There's no hospital that'll see you hemorrhaging and having a life-threatening incident and say, oh, wait a minute, is it an abortion? Oh, or is it your pregnancy complication? Oh, we just assume you're right. We assume you're pregnant, and we assume that you're saying your symptoms are what they are. That no hospital will do that. And if they do that, you can sue the living daylights out of them. Anyway, Let me get off this video. I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.